So when we see the hashtag blessed online today, I mean, it's usually attached to like a new car or maybe a massive promotion at work or some flawless beach vacation.
Yeah, it's basically synonymous with winning, right?
Right, exactly. But for our deep dive today, which is Monday, June 8th, 2026, we are looking at a text that just completely turns that hashtag upside down. We're diving into Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 12.
The Beatitudes. I mean, it's one of the most famous passages in the entire gospel.
It really is. And, setting the scene here, the text specifically details that Jesus sees the crowds, he goes up on the mountain, sits down, and then his disciples gather around him before he actually starts to teach.
Well, and that mountain setting,
Yeah.
it's a direct callback to Moses at Sinai.
Right.
But the crucial shift here is that Moses received the law on stone tablets, whereas Jesus actually sits down. He takes the posture of a rabbi to deliver basically a law of the heart.
Oh, so the physical act of sitting down is significant there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not just relaying the rules, he's embodying the authority to completely redefine what a successful life looks like.
And I mean, that redefinition starts with a massive curveball
Yeah.
because he doesn't bless the wealthy or the successful like you'd normally expect.
No, not at all.
Right. He starts with, blessed are the poor in spirit and blessed are those who mourn. And I always struggle with this because mourning implies profound loss. It's painful.
It is incredibly painful.
So how does the actual mechanism of mourning translate into a blessing for the listener?
Well, mourning here isn't just about, experiencing sadness. It's really about acknowledging the fundamental brokenness of the world and of ourselves.
Okay, so it's a much deeper kind of grief.
Right. The psychological and spiritual mechanism at play is that only when you stop pretending everything is fine, like when you actually grieve the state of things, do you create the necessary internal space to receive divine comfort.
Oh, wow. I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah. He's saying that the result of enduring that emptiness with faith, it brings a comfort that the world simply cannot manufacture.
So if the first few blessings, like mourning and being poor in spirit, are about emptying yourself out, I guess the next logical step is how that emptiness affects how you treat everyone else.
Exactly. It moves from internal states to outward actions.
Right. Which brings us to, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. But I have to say, inheriting the earth sounds like a Roman emperor's prize.
Yeah, it really does sound like that.
I mean, it requires armies and aggression, right? So hearing that the meek inherit the earth, that must have sounded completely absurd, maybe even dangerously rebellious to a first-century listener living under Roman occupation. How did they not just laugh him right off the mountain?
Well, because it exposes the ultimate flaw in the Roman model, or really any empire's model. I mean, the world operates on the assumption that power, aggression, and ruthlessness win the earth.
Right, the whole survival of the fittest thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Jesus is completely flipping that traditional power structure. He praises the merciful, the pure in heart, and the peacemakers. And he says, the peacemakers shall be called sons of God.
So the reward isn't about earthly domination at all.
No, it's divine satisfaction and receiving mercy.
Yeah.
The meek inherit the earth because they don't actually have to conquer it to find peace.
It's a total rejection of the rat race. But, I mean, stepping off that track definitely has real-world consequences.
It absolutely does, yeah.
Hmm.
Which is why the passage ends by preparing the listener for inevitable pushback.
Because people won't like that you're not playing by the rules.
Right. Jesus explicitly blesses those who are persecuted or falsely reviled for righteousness' sake. He reminds them that the prophets face the exact same struggles. If you live out these Beatitudes, you are going to clash with the values of the surrounding culture.
That clash really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If Jesus is explicitly blessing the poor in spirit, the meek, and the persecuted, you have to ask yourself, what does that mean for how the modern church views its own political power and wealth today?
That is the uncomfortable genius of the text. It demands constant internal reevaluation.
And for you listening, here is a provocative thought to mull over. Which of these Beatitudes, maybe being a peacemaker or hungering for righteousness, feels the most challenging to you in your life right now?
That's a really great question to take away.
To wrap up our deep dive today, let's close with a short prayer based on what we've explored. Lord, give us the grace to be poor in spirit, merciful, and pure of heart. Help us to seek your kingdom above all else, especially in moments of trial. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks for joining us to explore this passage. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.